Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Ked, and today we're going to be ranting about something. As you guys may know, the ending of Squid Game just dropped, and I'm not too pleased about it. I'm going to get into that. Obviously, I want to rant a little bit about it, give my critiques on it, but I have to be a little bit careful for the first minute for reasons that I can't really disclose. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to leave a like, comment some shit, let me know how you feel about it. I'm past 30 seconds. I don't really care about this anymore. Let's get straight to it. So I'm very disappointed with how the season of Squid Game went, as is many people. I felt like the latter half of Game of Thrones, how people describe it. I never watched Game of Thrones because I don't watch TV. But I did watch Squid Game because I really like the psychology of it. I really like the way that there was all this building that was going towards it. But it felt like it sucked. And I'll tell you why. Reason number one, and spoilers, by the way. Let me just say spoilers. Spoilers. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. You may be as disappointed as I am. Massive spoiler warning. Okay, first and foremost, and the thing that really pissed me off, why the hell are we doing a spinoff in America? Why are we advertising that in the final scene of the show? Why are we advertising a US spinoff? I don't think you understand. Squid Game is Korean. We keep it there. It works in Korea because there's all these games that we never heard of in the US. We're going to have some shit here. All right, guys, today we're going to be playing Hopscotch Death. All right, we're going to be playing Foursquare. We're going to be playing Dodgeball with guns. We're going to be playing Lockdown Drill. We're going to shoot. Holy shit. I'm not down to see that shit. What a bummer. And it's like, now this introduces a whole universe of, okay, all this other shit's going on. So let me get this straight. There are these elitists who will show up to the worldwide different types of Squid Games. So why specifically did these like American Chinese ass people go to Korea when they could go, oh, you know what? I bet the LA show is going to be pretty good. Like, what the fuck? Like, we are given no closure on it whatsoever, and we don't know anything about what happens with the winners. I think part of the mystique, I know Koreans might think that, their Squid Game's kind of dumb, but at least for them it works because there's that mystique, that foreign mystique. Not here. I feel like we'd also make it way too political. We make some shit like all the VIPs are Republican, It'd be some shit to like sell a point. Also, it works in the foreign languages. I don't know what it is. I can't imagine like seeing a bunch of American actors go, yes, let me assess the situation. Now, I heard from Koreans that the Korean actors for Squid Game were not really actors. They weren't phenomenal actors. They were just people. And I think that works. Like, yeah, you could say it was porn acting. I think it works because it brings a more human element, believe it or not, even though these people come from these sort of cartoons or voice acting, but not actually acting. I've seen a lot of talks about that, but the thing is, I felt like the entirety of Squid Game revolved around Gi-hun and the story of Gi-hun, which leads me to my next thing, big spoilers. Gi-hun dies. Why? I felt like it was so unnecessary the way that whole sequence played out, the whole lunchbox, killing the dad, then killing yourself so the baby can win. Are you kidding me? There were so many opportunities in that show that could have just ended right then and there, and we would have had a much better ending. But I felt like they intentionally made it such that this whole house of cards was getting tumbled. And look, I know Gi-hun probably would have killed himself. I mean, the way he played out the morals and stuff. It's just like, why did that guy kill himself? Then why did they not press the button when they were beating the shit out of each other? And it just made no sense to me. Because even if the dad of the child wanted to win, which he probably did want, he wanted to win. Even if he wanted to take it out by himself. Oh, I guess in that case, any remaining winners in the last circle would win it all. At least throw the fucking baby out before you do it. It just made no sense to me. There was nothing of the sorts. Really disappointing, really pissed me off. But, and I think this is the biggest thing to a lot of people, what the hell was the cop subplot all about? He gets on the island after 3 seasons of this shit, of him being on a boat, looking for an island, getting on the island, getting shot, going back to the island, his whole squad mates get wiped out. He gets on the island and goes, yeah, this is going on. And then 6 months later, it's like, yeah, on to some other shit. No! What the fuck? What is this bullshit that's going on with the Squid Game? Yes. And then it's just like, I felt like we needed another season. We may have needed some more closure. This being the finale left so many things unanswered. It's actually invigorating. And I use that big word, invigorating, because it is actually frustrating. I remember when season 1 dropped, it was a very electrifying show because it really highlighted the greed. It highlighted all this sort of complex characters and stuff and, betrayal. It was a great show. And it was revolutionary because they were doing all these board games. And no one was doing that. No one was doing this. Mr. Beast made a video on it, for God's sakes. Season 2 comes out, And season 2, left us on a cliffhanger. Season 2 did leave us on a cliffhanger, but it was gas. It was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He just did the revolution. Oh my God. And it failed. And he's getting his back stabbed. This is it was a good way to end the season. It wasn't like, okay, we're doing on to the next game. Cut. No, there was a whole climax, falling action, all that sort of stuff. Frontman got his seat back and we're good. Cliffhanger. Oh my God, there's so much more that needs to happen. And season 3 started off phenomenally. Those first 2 episodes of season 3 were great. There were some deaths. There was the weight of things. I remember saying to my friend, we were watching, and I was like, I'm surprised that no one has killed themselves on the Squid Game. And as I said that, the mother kills herself. And it's like, this is the darkest season by far. It was sad. It was actually really sad. I connected with a lot of the characters. I loved all the characters. And it was like, this is a tragedy. This is the first time I was watching the show, besides the ending of season 2, and thinking to myself, this isn't a drama. This is a tragedy. And it was beautiful. I thought the first parts of season 3 were beautifully done. And those final episodes just sunk the shitter really hard. That final episode did not do justice for the rest of the season. So that begs the question, when a whole season is good and one episode is bad, does that ruin the show? Does that ruin the season? The answer is no, unless it's the finale, which this was. You can't fuck up a finale. That is the most important episode that you need to make sure that all the questions get answered. Everyone walks away with the message that's clearly written down. All the questions are answered. We don't need another spinoff. We don't need another reboot. End the show. End the story. And I felt like what they wanted to do was, okay, we killed Gi-hun. The story of Gi-hun's done. We're done with Squid Game. Well, we still have a lot of questions, right? Whatever happened to that dad that Soldier 11 saved? Whatever happened to Soldier 11? Whatever happened to the people on the island? Did we ever see In-ho ever again? The brother of the cop that went looking for him. What about these other games? It just felt like it wasn't a finale. It was, but it felt like they were doing it in such a way where if Netflix wanted to pull the trigger, or if any other company wanted to pull the trigger, they could launch spin-offs. They could launch prequels, sequels. It felt like they had created an identity with Squid Game and wanted to keep it going as a franchise. And that to me just sucks. We see it too often with novel ideas that become mainstream where people want to propel the success. They want to piggyback off the success of the original. And we see this way too often. Teen Titans had Teen Titans Go. Of course, we're getting spin-offs of regular show, Gumball, Adventure Time. I hope they're good. We're getting reboots of movies like Lion King. And I just feel like you can't do that with Squid Game. Imagine if they drop Sopranos 2 tomorrow. They're like, all right, Sopranos all grown up. And it's just the Sopranos 50 years later. I'd be fucking pissed. You'd be fucking pissed. Imagine they drop Breaking Bad Babies. Oh shit, Goo Goo Gaga. We gotta deliver the pacifiers, Jesse. The fuck is this shit? You can't. Squid Game, in my opinion, as a drama, K-drama, it operates in the same way as, your Breaking Bads. I know Breaking Bad ended up getting Better Call Saul, but blow me, that's a different show in the same universe. That's not the same thing as a knockoff or a spin-off of the same shit. It's not, okay? So if you want to say Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, you can suck my balls and lick my nuts. I don't know if The Sopranos said any sort of thing like that, but my point still stands. Why are we trying to make a Squid Game universe? We could add the police raid it. We could add everyone arrested. Bam. That's my finale. You want my finale? Honest to God? Okay. Here's how I would have crafted it, made a way better show. So here's what we could have done. And it would have been just as tragic, whatever. VIPs can escape. I don't give a fuck about that. They realize cops are on board, gas everyone, kill everyone. By the time the cops show up, everyone's dead. All the files are burnt. They get there, it's too late. It was a mass suicide. Boom. You want something dark? I gave you something dark. That ended the story right there. But nope, we got the ending that we got. A fucking baby one, which you could even spin that into the future. I guarantee that something's gonna happen with that baby if they ever do a spinoff. And it's just like, we have the most inconclusive ending to would have otherwise been a fantastic show. I'm stumbling. That's how mad I am about this. Well, that's enough of my ranting for today. If you enjoyed it, I've been Ked. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you bitches some other time. And remember, I'm on a road right now. I'm gonna grind. Give your brother some support. All right, see you.